Good afternoon. My name is Jessyn Farrell, and I am a candidate for Mayor of Seattle. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about me and what I believe, and then I'm looking forward to answering your questions. And I'm really grateful for you being here on what is turning out to be a really lovely day, so thank you very much. So I grew up in the Lake City neighborhood. I went to University of Washington, worked at Yesler Terrace as an AmeriCorps volunteer, went to law school, came home, and have been working on transportation and land use issues ever since. I have been elected to the legislature 3 times. I have represented Northeast Seattle in the legislature. I am parent of a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old, 2 of whom are in public schools. And like you, I love Seattle, and I believe that we're in a city really at a crossroads. And on the one hand, we have unmatched natural beauty, we have a humming economy, but we have major pressures on how we're going to accommodate growth. And quite frankly, that is what is animating my desire to run. I have seen changes in my own district. For example, there were more Title I schools, which means schools that have 50% free and reduced lunch, and now there are fewer than there were when I started 5 years ago. And what that means to me is that it's getting harder and harder for people to be able to stay in this city and thrive. And so what I believe is that this is a city that has a wonderful legacy, right? Growing up here, living here, it's truly wonderful, and that we need to be a city where anyone can stay and where anyone can feel safe. And so the question then becomes, how do we do that, and what is the mayor's role? And so here are the things that I really deeply believe. Number 1, we do have to accommodate growth. That is very, very important to me. 1,000 people are moving here a day, and I believe 2 things animate this primarily. 1, housing is a human right, and we collectively have to figure out how we're going to house the people in our community. Number 2, I also believe that no community should be left off the hook, and that every community has different assets, whether it's cultural assets or environmental assets, but there are ways to do affordability that make it work for every single community, and I can answer that a little more deeply during the question session, how I would do that. Secondly, we need to make transportation work, and many of you may know I ran Transportation Choices Coalition from 2005 to 2008, and I have fought for more investments in walking, bike, transit infrastructure, and I believe deeply in that. In the state legislature, I helped authorize Sound Transit 3, and we pushed for some of the most innovative, affordable housing opportunities in the entire country by forcing Sound Transit to use their surplus property around transit stations, and by putting money into, how much time?
That's it.
Oh, that's it. Well, thank you, and I'm looking forward to your questions about other issues.